Hi, this is my VOD review for YouTube, I guess. I'm playing Arcanists this game, and I'm just going to talk through my thinking process when playing this game. Hopefully, you can learn something from it. I don't know. Not saying I played perfectly, but just showing off, or like showing how I do things. So, I was late to carousel, so I didn't really get too much to choose from. I like starting chain over cloak. I feel like chain is more versatile. I can branch into more things. I hit Malzahar, which is really good for playing Arcanist. Uh, I, uh, I was watching Tim Chantarangsu in the back, and obviously, if YouTube has a problem with accidentally showing a slight view or two of someone else's channel, I can work to change that. But I'm hoping that isn't an issue, just because I have no audio, and whenever I do see a clip on on screen, I'll just skip it. So here I already have half of, or 2 out of 3 mutants, Cassidin and Malzahar. Malzahar, which is a really big part of playing Arcanists. So I think my path is, well, I could still play mutant because it's Darkstar in this game, but since I'm trying to force Arcanists, I think my path is pretty clear by now. So in this augment situation, Scrap Crest is automatically ruled out, and Keepers, I personally don't really like playing Keepers with Arcanists. I feel like the positioning gets really weird, so I personally would prefer not to play Keeper. So the only other option is Ludens, which is a really great augment. Gives you a lot of free damage, especially in the early game. If you play Brand or Malzahar like that, it is gonna increase your damage in the early game and the mid game by a whole lot. So if I take this augment, which I do, I'll know that my early game is probably strong enough to keep like a 3 streak, and so I can probably play a little more aggressively early game, so I can keep a longer streak. Yeah, so I do hit Brand here. Brand works really well with Ludens in the early game just because he has very low mana, and that means he can proc Ludens really quickly, which is a lot of damage. Other than that, I'm not pre-leveling here because I have 2 pairs of my tank unit, which I think staying at level 4 gives me a much higher chance of hitting these, and I definitely need a good tank, which I hit none of them in this situation. So that gets a little awkward, I guess. Right here, I'm thinking about what items are best to slam. The only options that I have are Locket and Bramble Vest. I don't want to have it like a really weird positioning with Locket. I know our items are really good in the early game, but just personally, I don't play like that, I guess. So I decided to slime Bramble and the Rod of Malzahar and level up because, I have Ludens. This isn't the strongest board, but Ludens gives me, like, enough power that, like, so, some of the weaker people in the lobby will definitely lose to me just because of damage output, as you just saw right there. He took a kind of a scaling augment binary, and yeah. So here I do have 3 pairs of units, which is kind of sad, but there's nothing else that I really need to do. I can't level up from here. I shouldn't roll because I'll hit 10 econ next round. And I'm just looking around other boards to see like how strong they are, whether I'd win certain matchups or not. Is there a speed up option? Probably not. That's fine. Winning that round was pretty good. I have a streak now. Here I high rolled, hit a lot of important units. I hit Brand 2. I hit Rek'Sai, which would give me mutants, which is Darkstar, which is obviously really strong in this meta right now. Other than that, I also hit Vex, which is a 3-star, 3 cost, which is kind of hard to hit at level 4, so that would be a high roll. I decided to play mutants just because of how strong they are in the meta. With my scouting last round, I saw a lot of mutant players, but I'm not playing mutants late game. I'm just using it as like a transition into arcanist. Not that I'm not playing mutants late game, but like I'm not playing like full mutants. It's gonna be primarily an arcanist comp. So yeah, I made 10 here. I won the round. Mainly augment plus mutant. Really strong early game. Gives me a boatload of damage. Yeah, so I think I'm in a pretty good spot right now. 100 HP, 3 streak. So here I'm looking to grab uh, a Morello or a Gunblade. Other items that could work is the Tier, the AP, which are obviously good Arcanist items. And I decide here to go for Morello. I think it's a good choice, but the fact that I had to take a 1 cost means that I sacrifice a little econ to get this item. I think it's I think it was one of the better options from the carousel that was left, just personally. Here I should have leveled to keep a win streak just because leveling doesn't cost my econ that much. Or, yeah, because my econ right now is 10 gold, which is 1 gold. And leveling costs 4 gold, and my passive econ doesn't get affected by that, and I keep a win streak, which is really good, but I was probably talking in this clip, so I most likely forgot to level. Here I hit another Malzahar, which is pretty lucky, I would say, at level 5. So I mean, that's pretty good, but I do have to break Econ in order to hold, which I think is definitely worth the Econ loss. Just because if I hit a Malzahar 2 within the next stage, that's going to be a huge buff for me. Oh man, there's a lot of lag. Here you can definitely see, that Ludens, that mutant, putting in good work. Alright, so here I have the choice of 2 pairs. I can either go Swain pair or a Rek'Sai pair. Because I want to keep 20 econ. Unless the Krugs give me gold, of course. But here I decide to keep Swain. That's most likely because I was thinking that I'm going to hard force arcanists. And, that I was going to, transition soon so I don't need to hold the Rek'Sai for too long. Not sure if that's a blunder or not. Maybe Rek'Sai would have been more important at this stage of the game, but hard to say, personally. Here there's not much to watch. It's just I'm not really doing a good job of scouting, but I am typing a lot, so maybe that's distracting me from everything. I'm just gonna skip the fight. We won the fight, and there's not really anything here either. At 3-2, usually that's either a level up or a roll down kind of timing. I'm thinking about leveling up because all the units that I have are higher cost, but really I think I should have rolled to 20 here probably, because I would have hit like a Cassidon 2 or a Rek'Sai 2, which would have been really big because my front line is absolute doo-doo water. Yeah, and right here, Caitlyn just snipes the shit out of my Malzahar because I have no front line. But yeah, I think I should have, gave up the econ for a round just to either level up or roll so I can put in more units. Keep the streak. I had a 2 streak. It would have been a 3 streak going into, augments. But here, they give me 3 choices. I don't really like Exiles or Disintegrator on Arcanist, so the only choice that I really had was this. I hit a Swain 2, which means that, in most cases, I would level here just to put in the stronger unit, because I feel like my comp, even though it's all 1 stars, is still pretty strong just because of augments. And putting in Swain fulfills, or like gives me 4 Arcanists, which would be my main source of damage. I think that's a pretty good choice to make. I'm just scanning around, seeing if I would lose my next fight, because pumping level and losing is like a really sad thing to see. Here I'm typing, difficulties playing Arcanist due to Mutant being Darkstar. I think this is definitely a issue in my books because Darkstar late game it ramps up super heavy and it usually leads to the one shot of most of the Arcanists. And oh, sorry about that. Yeah, here I'm just looking over the items that are available to me, and I decide that it's better to grab a slammable item, even though I don't slam it. So I mean, I guess that's a blunder. But I was thinking of grabbing Cloak just because I can slam an Ionic Spark. And oh, also about the video earlier, I'm gonna repeat myself. You know, if it's an issue with YouTube that playing a small clip of something I was watching in the background is a problem, I can redo the video, try to skip all the parts that I need. And I am sorry for having the video up there. I was just screen recording and I didn't want to listen to ads on the video, so moving on. The next video slip should be at Dragon, so I should just remember to skip that part completely. But yeah, here I'm thinking about slamming an Ionic because all the items left are pretty much defensive items. I guess I was looking for a Gunblade, which there was no sword, or the sword was taken. Yeah, for now that's about it. There's no mutant to replace Rek'Sai. I was debating on slamming an Ionic Spark just because these guys are hella strong. This guy's playing fucking Darkstar Mutant, Dies of Cringe, and he has Foaming Frontline, which is really good for Darkstar. I mean, I would say it's pretty likely for this guy to top 4 at this spot, probably even top 2, just because of how strong Darkstar is in this meta. I was really close to killing another unit, but it's fine. There's nothing to buy in shop, so I just wait for the level. I think my team's pretty, not really that strong, but I do have enough 2-stars where, Darkstar coupled with Arcanist and, my augments makes me, strong enough to kill a lot of units, especially if my Malzahar stays alive. So I don't choose to roll either that last round or this round, which could be a mistake. Here's a little bit of lag, but it's fine. And this goes pretty strong. Nothing too much to say, but I did keep a streak into neutrals, which means I get an extra gold. Very good for my econ. Yeah, I hit a Vex 2 here, which is really good. I would say that's a little bit of a high roll. I hit a lot of econ here. I should sell most of them and just pump it into levels. Another thing I think I should have done here is roll to hit another Rek'Sai, because then I could replace the items and put them on Vex, which is a much better tank in my opinion. I think I might try to do that. I did also hit a Malzahar too, which is really, really strong. And that's probably going to carry me through, the rest of my rounds. I probably tried to roll for probably a Kassadin or another Rek'Sai to replace them. As in, I should have thought of that, most likely. And, my team is entirely 2-starred, which is hella strong. Pretty much white, this dude. Here I'm still thinking about my item economy, whether I should slam a Shiv right now. Ooh, I hit Kassadin. Yeah, I'm memeing about hitting Kassadin too, Power Spike. But yeah, here I'm thinking about slamming, not slamming, but my item economy, whether I should get a blue buff or just put on Shiv. I'm not thinking about slamming Cone, just because Arcanist gives you so much raw AP already, that I don't think Cone is necessary, just personally. So, I'm thinking about the only other items that I could slam, and obviously, I'm not going to slam Runan's Hurricane. That's not good in Arcanist. Yeah, I'm just looking at this mutant guy because his spot is really, really good, and it's really likely that he top 2s. I have all 2 stars. I feel like I should have rolled for a Rek'Sai to replace, just because I feel like having Rek'Sai as a tank on this stage, against a strong opponent, it can lose me so much HP. So I do think that was a blunder, keeping Rek'Sai for this long. I think it was worth, rolling down to 40 just to maybe hit a Rek'Sai. It's a 30% chance, and it's a little bit of lag here. It'll breeze over. Here, my Malzahar gets one shot again. Pretty unlucky. I feel like it is partially the Rek'Sai that's causing this, because he dies way too fast. Yeah, so on Carousel, here's where I think about, item economy. I think I decide on getting a blue buff because I'm going to transition to Ari later. Also, the other items on the board. What else could I have gotten? Maybe an AP, which was taken, and maybe in my mind, I think that might have been the best option, getting a blue buff within those 3 items. What else could I have gotten? What was it? A chain, a glove, which I think blue buff is better. I don't really know if that's the correct choice, but in my mind right now, it's still the correct choice. Yeah, to bring it up again, there's not too much that I need to do with my board. So right now I'm just pumping levels, trying to get to level 8 as quickly as possible. Oh yeah, and here I'm just talking about how many Darkstar players are in the lobby, so it might be hard to transition into Ari later on if I want to summon Malzahar. Which is a important complaint, because if I can't sell my Malzahar for the items, it's gonna be hard playing Arcanist, right? Or not really hard. I can still play Malzahar carry in the end, playing Mutant Arcanist, which is an out that I'm thinking about right now. Here I reach the augment stage. It's never Titanic Force, so it's either Arcanist Emblem for 8 Arcanist, or it's Celestial Blessing for a little more sustain on my team, because all of them, are damage dealers, pretty much. Yeah, and I choose Celestial Blessing. I hit an Ari as well with 15%. That's not terrible, but still a little more than a bigger high roll than I would have expected. What else? Yeah, maybe it could have been Arcanist, so that I could play Mutant easier. I don't have to play as many units. I can get rid of Brand for an Arcanist. I am memeing Darkstar in the chat, or like what I'm typing out, but I am the one playing Darkstar as well, so that's a tough statement to make. Yeah, this guy's kind of strong. Mauser's gonna kill a couple of them. That's fine. I'm kind of expecting to lose fights nowadays, or these rounds, because I'm trying to level, and obviously I will hit 8 next round, or 5-1 if I want to. Obviously nothing to buy here, so I just keep pumping the levels. So it hit a zillion 3. Whoa. But yeah, this Rek'Sai really needs to go. He's wasting a lot of my HP. I didn't realize that then, or when I was playing, but this Rek'Sai definitely is, I think, taking up a lot more HP than it should. Yeah, I'm just waiting an extra round so I don't have to lose as much econ to level to 8. I'm thinking about my item economy here. Oh, I hit a Kaisa. Pretty high roll, 4%. That's a really high roll. Okay, so I think, oh my god, another Kaisa. I'm a fucking high roller. But here, the move is definitely to get rid of the Rek'Sai and replace it with Kaisa, so I can put the tank items on my Vex, which I think I realized in the round after this. I'm still rolling down, trying to find replacements, trying to find a replacement Malzahar, trying to find more Aries because I'm level 8. Here I definitely should have slammed a few items. I think here I was thinking about QSS and ZZ Rot. I'm not sure exactly what I end up slamming, but yeah. And this guy, he has really good augments. He's in a really good spot to top 2. I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed at this point, in my opinion. Yeah, here I'm rolling down for an Ari. Maybe a replacement Malzahar. I hit Jace, pretty high roll. I hit Braum, that's pretty good. Not too much else. I hit a Jinx, which is all pretty high roll, I guess. 4 legendaries this quickly. It's a pretty big high roll. I forget to. Now I'm rolling so hard, concentrating, then I forget to, actually look at my board, see how strong it is. It's not really that strong because of this. Well, I wouldn't say not really that strong, but this Rek'Sai definitely puts a hitch in the strength of the board, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, I think I do realize to get rid of the Rek'Sai sometime sooner. Not sure when, probably right now. Not too sure. Yeah, here I give up on the Vexes, but then the Vexes come back to me. Kind of a sad thing to happen. Here I finally realized to get rid of the Rek'Sai. I'm probably going to need to, use the rest of my items. They've been sitting on my bench for too long, for 3 rounds, which is, a lot of HP lost. Not really that good. Here I decide on ZZ Rot once and for all. And another important thing for Quicksilver, I think it should have been on Vex. Not completely sure, but I decided in the end to slam it on Kaisa because I have 2 Kaisas. And that Kaisa in Darkstar is a huge power spike. It's a lot of power. It can board wipe a lot of the times. Yeah, Kaisa 2 is really strong. That's what I'm trying to say in Darkstar. So that's why that was my decision making on putting the QSS on him. So here I was trying to get a tank item for Vex. I end up getting Banshees for my backline. I think I should have got ZZ Rot now that I look at it because of Darkstar, and then I need more frontline. Not really sure at this point, but who am I to say that that was a better choice than this, right? So here I'm still rolling for an Ari because I did hit another Malzahar 2 that I'm trying to replace it with. Yeah, hit Malzahar 2, trying to replace Ari for Malzahar, the items especially. So you would obviously want an RE2 before you transfer items like that. Because, Malzahar 2 is definitely better than RE1. No cap. Zig Swift is cast. Kaisa on the hunt. I mean, pretty good. This Vex gives me so much frontline. Tanks for a whole while. And then, gives me a free win. Here I should probably sell Jace for Econ. Because I'm probably not playing Jace later on. Yeah, not bad. It's almost Dragon Round. I will need to skip Dragon Round because I'm pretty sure there's a clip or like a where I'll tab. Here, I don't want to just donkey roll for Ari. I think my spot is pretty strong. I should definitely position my trap call better, but I just didn't want to put my Malzahar in the corner to like eat a blitz hook. But I feel like that should have been the better choice now that I think about it. Yeah, put Malzahar in the middle. Put Malzahar in the corner, and then put put the Zigs between them so I can get actual trap call value. Right here, Darkstar diff. Yeah, Darkstar's fucking broken. No comment. Alright, we skipped Dragon. We got Titan's Resolve. Rolling down for an Ari. Selling the useless units so I can hit Ari easier. And I do eventually hit Ari. At this point, I've skipped so many Vexes that I probably could have got a Vex 3. And I skipped so many Malzahars that I probably could have got a Malz 3. But, hindsight. Here I decided to put Titan's Resolve on Kaisa. I think my decision making on this is because, Vex isn't going to need the damage from Titan's Resolve, and it'd probably be better on Kaisa. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do, but I think that's what I thought was best at this point. Yeah, this mutant player, hella strong. I mean, he's basically top tiering. Here, I'm still debating on selling Malzahar for Ari, just because I'm thinking about the mutant value, and how much damage is the trade-off, I guess. That's what I'm primarily thinking about. Yeah, I scouted the Zephyr. I kind of missed, even though I scouted, which is kind of, kind of awkward. But uh, yeah, that was also a little weird too. The ZZ Rot didn't taunt the Jin, so I lost a little bit of damage on that, which is kind of unfortunate. I didn't think I needed to take that big of a loss at this point in the game. I checked my damage charts. I find out that Ari, baseline does a lot of damage already, so I decided the trade-off is worth it in the end. So I switch units. At this point, I think my trap call placement definitely could be a lot better. Put Ari third spot and Ziggs in the second spot between Mouse and Ari. I'm just double checking, my positioning against these players. It's a Kha'Zix 2. Really good items, so it's kind of scary. It's also a Zillion 3. This guy's woke. Woke. Yeah. Nothing too crazy. Ari ult, Malzahar ult, slaughters the Kha'Zix, and I put this guy out of his misery. Okay, carousel round. Pretty important. It's top 3 now. I don't know how much longer I live, but okay, so at this point, I think Shiv is probably the literally best item that I can get. He took it, which makes me really sad. I'm also debating on Gunblade for Kaisa. I decided in the end that it's not Gunblade and just give my Kaisa a little more attack speed because of Celestial Blessing. Uh, I think that is the correct move, personally. Here, I know that I can never ever level, so I'm just rolling down for anything random that I can hit, and I fucking hit a Kaisa too. High rolling, hard as shit. I'm fighting the mutant guy next. I'm thinking about, how to dodge a Zephyr or not. Guess I'm thinking about how to juke his Alistar, I guess. Which does work really well. I put the Cassidin in the corner so the cow ults into the corner and never hits any of my useful units. Doesn't really look like it matters because he is so fucking strong. So I'm just dead. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I could do. I think I do beat this guy though, if I do fight him, because he's playing bodyguards, and Jin, snipers, Zeri 1. I think I should beat him as long as I position my units to make the Braum hit this way instead of this way. But top 3 in there is not bad. I did play my mid game a little scrappy, so I lost a lot of HP because of that. Otherwise, I could have been top 2. Other than that, I don't think I could have ever top 1 because the other guy's board was just so strong. I mean, Alistar 2, Soko 2, Swain 2, Malzahar 2, really good items, really tanky, really tanky. Soko even has Zephyr to decrease my damage. It's tough. It's tough. Not sure what I could have done better. Maybe make my brand eat the Zephyr. But yeah, looking at this spot, I don't really think I could have done too much more. His team was just really strong. He had uplink, dummies, extra items. Yeah, I don't know if I would have ever beat this guy. Maybe if I had Victor, but I don't think I would have. I mean, you can't bank on 4% legendaries at level 8, right? So it's hard to. I would say that I think my highest placement this game would have been a top 2. And I did make a lot of mistakes. I think I should have pointed a lot of them out. In the video, I also didn't really scout that much, probably because I was typing and talking in the video, which I've muted. Uh, yeah, I was probably talking about like what I was thinking and like how I was playing it. I also didn't scout that much, uh, which is not good, obviously. You should definitely scout a lot, especially in late game, like stage 5, stage 6. That's when scouting matters a lot. Maybe if there's an Alistar, maybe with Braum, that could definitely change the trajectory of the fight. Other than that, I think Ari positioning is also a big deal that I didn't really make use of. You position her closer to the side of the carries, so maybe if she shoots, she'll like hit them. If she's like here, maybe or like here, it shoots here and it kills their carries before their carries can scale. Especially against snipers, right? And like if she shoots this way, then all those carries are gonna get hit, and killing snipers before they scale is a pretty good idea, especially against Malzahar too. So yeah, that's definitely another blunder on my part. Um, yeah, maybe there's also a few moments where I could have rolled or leveled and kept the streak or saved some HP instead of greeting. So definitely not a perfect game, but you can see how arcanists can be pretty good in this meta. Even though it is sort of a mutant game, but I tried to force arcanists as much as I